How digital marketing worked. It's the new form of TV. It's the new form of radio.
Do our favorite Gary Vee.
And it was blowing my mind thinking about, oh my word, had I have known this, I wouldn't have had to close.
No, he's crazy. He's crazy.
Here I am. My thrift store was located on the busiest street in Clarksville, Tennessee. And yet, when I started marketing in my closure months, I looked at Shirley and I said, where are all these people coming from? Where have they been for the last 7 years?
You don't want to wait until it's too late.
No.
You don't want to wait. All right, how's everybody doing? Which one am I looking at?
It doesn't matter. You can look at this one. Actually, look at that
Look
one.
at that one.
Yeah, look at that
Okay, all right. Welcome to the Rocket Power Media Show by Rocket Power Media. And today, with us, or in the room, is the two co-founders, including myself, Shirley Lair and Rebecca Tiger. And basically, what we want to do today is we want to do like an introduction, just to kind of like who we are, what we're trying to do, and the direction that we're trying to help businesses, nonprofits, consulting, whatever you do from an online marketing perspective. We're trying to help you figure out where you need to go from there. So we're going to let Shirley go ahead and kick it off first.
All right, well, my name is Shirley Lair, and I am the owner of a design and printing business. And I started my business about 6 years ago. And basically, I knew nothing about the space when I got in and kind of learned as I went, had some mentors. And throughout the course of my business, I really fell in love with storytelling and advertising, and just being able to, take someone's vision and create it into a tangible reality. Whether it was video, whether it was flyers, designs, t-shirts, hats, whatever the case may be. And, it was something that I became truly passionate about. Now, what was crazy was when I first started my business, I had like a brick and mortar store. And basically, I grew my business through traditional means, which was flyer marketing, going to other businesses, going to, like different shows, and basically word of mouth. And so it went pretty well for the first couple of years. But then I realized that social media was really taking over. And to be honest, I really had no idea of how it worked. And so for a good year, I ended up moving back to Clarksville, Tennessee, because I started my business in Allentown, Pennsylvania. For a whole year, I dove into online marketing. I learned how to, market myself on YouTube. I learned how to build a Facebook, my own Instagram account. And what I've been seeing, the trend is that online marketing is now the new offline marketing. Like, we meet people on social media before we ever meet them in person. Yep. And so, I really started just kind of figuring out how digital marketing worked, and seeing that it's the new form of TV, it's the new form of radio, and honestly, what it has done is it's leveled the playing field for us as small businesses, as entrepreneurs, and it has basically enabled us to be in the same platform that these big, corporations are at. Right, and we see these corporations basically closing down left and right.
Yep.
And that is now giving us the
Toys
opportunity.
R Us, goodbye.
Exactly, Toys R Us, Kmart, JCPenney.
R.I.P. Sears.
R.I.P. Sears.
Coming soon.
Exactly. So social media has now given us the opportunity to really connect with our customers directly and to connect with our audience. And I'm just passionate about the content, because one thing that is very important is it is all about the value that you can deliver and the content that you can create. So, creating videos, creating pictures, all of this is a part of design, and that's what made me passionate about it, is being able to convey your message in a creative way. And you don't have to be creative. You can find someone else that is creative, whether there's somebody that is your employee, or whether it's someone whether you hire an agency. But the most important thing now is to be able to cut the middleman out and use our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as a way to connect with our audience directly. So that's kind of a backstory of who I am. I just, from the digital or from the printed space, I moved on to digital, and now we're here.
And I think you said something that was really key in your introduction, and that's basically talking about cutting that middleman out, and also leveraging the people around you. For instance, your employees, or just people in your circle and people that you work with. You would be surprised at the skill set of other people. Like once you work with them outside of a job, you would be surprised at what they know and how you can kind of put things together. Like, even when I first met Shirley, I just thought it was about her doing graphic design and printing. And come to find out, when I kind of open that book up, it's a whole lot more to her than I thought it was. So it just takes for you to put yourself in the right environment to kind of, exploit those skills, or kind of, not exploit, that's a bad word, but kind of to be able to show those skills. So that was a really great introduction. So Rebecca, you want to go ahead and take it over?
Like they said, I'm Rebecca Tigert, and I had a nonprofit thrift store for about 7.5 years, and I was brought in as a manager and ended up becoming the president of the nonprofit and having to learn how to run it and to communicate to the community. And at that time, I really just didn't understand the importance of social media, of marketing, of really getting myself out there. And a lot of it wasn't that I wasn't willing, it was that I really just didn't have the manpower to be able to do it. So for 7.5 years, I built it based on word of mouth, and found that I was struggling because I needed to be able to take it to the next level and didn't know how. And then it came to a point where I actually had to end up closing. And I met Shirley, she came back into town. Actually, I had known her for many years, but she came back into town, and she started talking to me about it, and at the time I had already decided to close, and Shirley started marketing the closing, okay? And so we had a goal. I had bills that I had to pay, being that it was a nonprofit. I had to pay these things off before I could close my business. And Shirley just started marketing on social media, and the goals that we set for each day that we had to make, we exceeded. And it was blowing my mind thinking about, oh my word, had I have known this, I wouldn't have had to close. And long story short, we exceeded what I needed to bring in to pay these bills off, and people that came into the store because of this social media marketing said, we never even knew you existed. And that just sunk my heart, thinking, wow, I did not know the dynamics of social media, marketing, the platforms that were out there, and how to really continue to take your business to that next level. And so it really enlightened me. And when the business, we went ahead and closed, Shirley and I began to talk about how we could help other people not to have to be in that same situation that I was in, due to, number one, a lack of knowledge, due to a lack of manpower. I didn't have those resources. And a lot of people that are in business, they want to focus on their business. If they're a realtor, they want to be a realtor. They don't want to be a marketer. If they're, if they own a store, they want to be a store manager and an owner. They don't want to be marketing. And so it gave us the idea that, a lot of these people don't know how to market their business. They don't know how to take it to the next level, simply because that's not where their passion. It's a time thing. And so we said, we could come in and we could help because of our experiences. And what we have, we can bring that to the table to help other people have success stories instead of finding that success at the end of the closing.
I think that's a really great and a really powerful testimony. And I just want to thank you for sharing that, because I know that that may have been something very difficult for you to go through. But it's also a great testimony to share with our caring audience, because you don't want to wait until it's too late. You don't want to wait until you know, you file for, what is it, Chapter 11, right?
Yeah,
you have to file for Chapter 11, and you're looking at bankruptcy, and you're looking to close your business within the next 6 months, and then come to me and say, hey, well, you know, I know you talked to us about this a long time ago, but we're in a crisis now. So we need you to make what you said could happen a year ago happen in 3 months. That's not going to happen. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to wait until the last second.
Right.
You don't want to wait until the last minute to really start looking at this stuff and, you know, getting into this stuff, because it's very important. And it's just the way of the world. It's 2018. It's just the direction that the world is going in. You can like it. You can choose not to like it. But it's just a part of our society now. It's a part of what we have to do to be successful in business. So just real quick, I guess I just kind of transition into my background real quick. First and foremost, military veteran. Military just taught me so much about being an entrepreneur, and taught me about being a small business owner before I even became an entrepreneur, or before I even became a small business owner. And I believe that that all veterans have just a special gift as far as being able to pivot and just to deal with unforeseen circumstances and be able to thrive and survive in an entrepreneurial environment. So the military, man, it just really taught me a lot about just staying focused on the mission, staying focused on regardless of the climate, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the turbulence, staying focused on the mission, not being distracted, and just really like, man, just having resilience, just being resilient. And that's one of the things that you have to have as an entrepreneur and as a small business owner. So I really want to say just, you know, thank you, you know, to that experience, just to the military, for just giving me that man, just that grind and that hustle and working until God knows when, and just instilling that work ethic in me and keeping me focused on the mission. And I think for me, that is the foundation of who I am as far as a business owner. So got out of the military in 2010, went to school, kind of bounced around, did some different things in school, fell in love with web development, fell in love with digital media marketing, online marketing, fell in love with photography, videography, and just really I ended up, while I was in college, taking on clients. So for all of you college students that are out there right now, I'm not telling you to drop out. All right, not everybody can be Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, and like, that's not for everybody. That's an anomaly. That's like 1 in a million. But what happened to me was while I was in college, I actually started getting clients. It was like, man, go to school and miss out on money, or, you know, or make the money, don't go to school. So, you know, I just kind of had to make a decision. And, you know, I ended up going back to school and then focusing on clients, and it was just kind of up and down. But while I was in school, I was actually already using the skills that I had, or that I was learning in college. So I was picking up clients, and I started just doing just entrepreneurial ventures. Fail, learn. As I was failing, I was learning. And because of that entrepreneurial spirit and what the military had, like, you know, like put in me, I never saw it as a failure.
Right.
And when fail, what is it? Fail fast, fail hard. When fail fast, fail hard came out, I was already doing that. Before that quote became famous, I was already failing. Like, but that wasn't really the perspective that I had, that I was failing. It was like, wow, this is new. This is something like nobody else is really doing right now. And that's like in 2011. Right. 2012, before I think that's really blew up. I think that's before Facebook went public.
Really went crazy.
So I was already doing it when LinkedIn first came out. I was already on it. Had like 5,000 followers on LinkedIn. It was just 5,000 something followers on Pinterest. Just like building my own personal brand, just kind of failing, getting back up, doing a different business, And so it's
huge.
And
And
exactly.
they're only getting bigger.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere.
Exactly, they're not going anywhere.
And it's
so
right now the perfect time
it's
to market.
right now. It's right now because what's going to end up happening is it's going to get so big. It's just like when Google first came out. When they was doing advertising. It was cheap. Now you try and go on Google AdWords, it's companies out there spending millions of dollars a month in Google AdWords. It's a way around it. It's going to take a little bit more work because you're not just throwing money at the problem. But even if you are just throwing money at the problem, you still got to do it right. That's the thing about the internet. Just because you spend $500 on paid ads, you still got to target right. You still got to have the right graphic or the right video, and you got to have the right verbiage. So,
keywords, everything.
And see, we so excited about it, like
well, just like for me, like when Shirley came in. And all of a sudden, here I am. My thrift store was located on the busiest street in Clarksville, Tennessee. The busiest. Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. If you had a business on Wilma Rudolph Boulevard, you really were in the prime location. And yet, when I started marketing in my closure months, I looked at Shirley and I said, where are all these people coming from? Where have they been for the last 7 years? And then to have these people coming in and thinking, and saying to me, how long have you been here? I'm like 7 years. They're like, what? We go down Wilma Rudolph all the time. And so, but you know what? If they were going down Wilma Rudolph and they didn't look to the right, or they were coming down and they didn't look to the left, they didn't see me. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, when I saw that in those 2 months alone, what it did for me, it blew my mind. Blew my mind being on the most popular street, the most populated street, and still had people coming in, and I just looked at Shirley and said, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
And that just goes to show too that like you said, it was the most popular street.
It was
one of the best locations, prime
literally
location, but that's not where the attention is.
No.
The attention is on our phones. Literally, we spend hours a day looking at our phones, and that's where people's attention is. So when you go to where people are paying attention, that's it.
And sadly enough, at stoplights, they're not turning left and right.
They're
looking at their phone.
So,
unfortunately, but
so billboards, who cares?
Yeah, they're not paying attention.
We're not saying don't use traditional marketing strategies, but people are paying less and less attention to traditional marketing. Now, traditional marketing is still important, just like word of mouth is still important.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But everybody has a phone. Like, you can reach everybody through text message.
But stop and think how they tag them.
I mean,
people were doing better word of mouth on social media because they were just tagging people, and they're like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of this place. That's that's awesome. That's wonderful. And another good example is the yellow pages. Think of how thick the yellow pages used to be. Our phone books, and it got smaller and smaller. I think it's about this thin now. I don't know if anybody even uses them. I think most people use them for fire starters.
They do have an online,
but but they just don't.
They ain't cutting it.
They don't use it.
But tagging now is still word of mouth. It's just word of mouth online. The only thing that's changed is the way that we talk. That's really it.
And the most interesting part about just talking about traditional marketing is that before people even get out of their beds in the morning, you can already be marketing to them.
Exactly. Right when they wake up.
Everybody want to get to inbox zero. I don't care who you are, unless you're just using like a trash email. But if you're doing good, solid email marketing, you can be in people's email inbox before they even get up and turn on the TV. Before they even get up and start looking at billboards. Before they get up and start driving down the street and seeing signs and listening to the radio and hearing commercials. You're already notification Facebook, notification LinkedIn, notification email, notification it's crazy. That's
when you send them or you put on your timeline, good morning, today we have a special for.
Exactly. Commercial break. We're going to have a commercial break. Gary Vaynerchuk, crushing it. If you want to be successful in social media marketing and online marketing, we highly recommend this book as a company. As a company, as Rocket Power Media, We're reading it right now. We're diving into it right now. It's a great book. If you don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, please check him out online. If you don't know who he is, that means that you're not paying attention.
Yep.
So you definitely need to check this book out. You want to talk about this book a little bit?
Yeah, this book basically, now Gary Vee, he's been around for years. He built his father's wine business from like, I think it was a $30 million business to like over a $300 million business. And this was all with YouTube. And he was the first YouTube vlogger in the space. And I mean, it took him a while, but he blew up. And that's how he built his
How many episodes did he do? Like,
oh my God, like 300 or something. Now he has his own vlog where he talks. He has VaynerMedia, which is his own social media agency. But in this book, he basically talks about how people are using the strategies that he's come out with, and they've implemented them in their own businesses, and now they are getting exponential growth. I mean, people have built their brands, their businesses. You know, some people were doing other things, and they completely changed over and built their brands online, and now they're living the life that they've always wanted, right? And so there's some golden nuggets in here. I really suggest, like Chris was saying, you could follow him. He's everywhere. He's on LinkedIn. He's on Twitter. He's on YouTube. He's on Facebook. He's everywhere. Instagram.
Giving you the game.
He gives so much value away. It's crazy. So definitely follow him. You know, like he said, we're diving into this ourselves, and we're going to be going into his other books because they're just incredible value. So
I don't want to let it go.
He doesn't want to let it go. I don't blame him.
It's like my
I gave it
security
back to
blanket.
I gave it back to him. So
and we're not getting paid to promote.
No, we're not getting paid. This is not a sponsored ad.
It's not a sponsored ad.
But so okay, I would like to just kind of ask, how is Rocket Power Media? How are we as an organization helping small business owners here locally? Like what can they take away from this video?
Well, I'm gonna say, you know, there is help. You know, you're not alone. If you're a solopreneur, if you're a sole proprietor, if you're, you know, if you only have maybe 5 or 6 people on your staff, or it's just you as an individual, and you're in the very beginning stages of what you do, you're not alone. We are your marketing department for hire. And, you know, just know that, like, you're not by yourself. Like, you have people who are experts in this and doing this, who are doing the research, who are, you know, using analytics, using data, you know, going out and finding content and trying different strategies to where we can come in and you can talk to us about what your pain points are. You know, that's the first thing that we do in our free 3-day trial is, you know, we come in and we let you do the talking. We let you tell us what your pain points are, and then we come back as a team collectively, and then we sit down and we figure out a strategy how to help you. So, and we build that strategy, we develop that strategy, and it's all about your business, all about your nonprofit, all about whatever it is that you do. So it's what we do is tailored. Like it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. What we do is specifically tailored to whatever your pain points are, and you know that's basically how we roll. And we just want to let you know that if you're struggling right now, if you're dealing with issues just as far as getting people to see your content, if you're having issues with getting people on your Facebook page, getting people to engage with your Instagram, getting people to visit your website, if you don't have any type of way to track what you're doing, we will help you track what you're doing. We will help you with your Facebook. We will help to promote you. We will help to push you out there to help your business get more exposure. But you have to open your mind to what's going on. You have to be prepared and you have to be ready. And on average, at least 20 to 40% of the annual revenue of a company is spent on marketing, or not spent, but invested in marketing.
Yes,
so don't look at it like it's a cost, like it's going to cost you money, because when you market, you get a return on investment from your marketing, but you have to do your marketing the correct way. You have to do it the way that it's meant to be done, or you're gonna burn money, and no one wants to burn money. But we're just here to let you know that you're not by yourself.
And I'm a prime example of, if I had made that investment in my marketing and had made that, you know, the investment, look at how huge my return was. that, you know what I'm saying, when I did invest that into the marketing,
Your last
my
couple
last
months,
couple,
right?
my last couple months, you know, and stuff. And had I made that a priority, I would still be where, you know, moving it further along. So.
Exactly. And it's even kind of the same thing as even traditional marketing. You know, before social media, people didn't want to invest in traditional marketing, and they would get a grand opening banner when they started, but then you'd also have a liquidation banner at the end. And so you'd always spend money on the beginning and the end, but never in the middle. It's an ongoing thing. It's always continuing.
If you want to be that business that continues and grows and moves with the tail of the times, you have got to invest in your marketing.
Exactly.
It's just where it's at.
Yep.
And that's, you know, and that's pretty much, I mean, everything that we're talking about in this video is pretty much some of the things that you need to be focused on and that you need to be looking into as a business or as an organization if you're currently dealing with those issues. So one more book, and then we're going to let you go. One more book. It's called The Innovation Blind Spot, okay? And it's written by Ross Baird of Village Capital. Really great book. And basically the book is about you basically recognizing opportunities just through innovation. So it's called The Innovation Blind Spot, and I want to say thank you to the Nashville Entrepreneurship Center down in Nashville. Kind of like I'm repeating myself. But the Entrepreneurship Center down in Nashville, as a member of the organization, I actually got an opportunity, or they actually gave me this book for free. So I highly recommend The Innovation Blind Spot and Gary Vaynerchuk.
Crushing it.
Yeah.
All right.
Check them out. All
right, guys, cool. And if you got value out of this video, definitely give us a like, share it with your friends, tag them below. We're going to be putting out videos like this on our Facebook page. You can catch us on YouTube, Instagram. So make sure to comment. You can ask questions, give us your feedback, and we will see you on the next one. Take care.
Rocket Power Media.